Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. With us today, our guest is C. Stephen Tucker. And Jack, before the break, Steve, you were talking about how Obamacare is leveling the playing field. It's gonna be fair.
Right.
Why is that a bad thing? Fair is a good thing, isn't it?
Yes, and it sounds very fair to those who are not insurance smart, but I'll give you an example of what it has done thus far. These are not new concepts. They've already failed miserably. And community rating has been a failure from the beginning. And here's how it works. You have these legislators, they walk into a state, they say some people over here are paying higher premiums than people over here, so we want to make all premiums in the entire state equal for everyone, right? Which sounds great. Until the young invincibles get a massive premium increase to pay for the people over here. So you've got people who are 25, the young invincibles, right? That we have to get into the Obamacare exchanges or it won't work. Barack Obama needs 2.7 million young invincibles in the exchanges to be able to lower premiums for other people.
Well, they're all the ones that voted for him, so they should be like running in line to get there.
The reality is the cost of health insurance for those people that age are going to be between $3,000 and $6,000 a year. The fine for not purchasing that health insurance is 1% of their modified adjusted gross income. So you take a young person making $35,000 a year. After taxes, the fine to him is going to be about $280 a year.
Oh, now, set me up with the $280.
That's right. Is he going to pay the small fine, or is he going to buy $3,000? He's going to pay the fine. He'll never go in the exchange.
But I thought you could be on your parents' insurance until you're 26 years old.
Yes, that's called the failure to launch clause. It does exist, okay? Eventually, you're going to have to buy your own health insurance. This is the target audience that Barack Obama is after, from 27 up, right, until about 35.
So from the beginning, that prevents the young people from getting squeezed.
Yes, because the rate increases go up so high, they cancel their health insurance and pull out of the market. So Barack Obama said, we're going to fix community rating. This time, we're going to make it work. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to force you unconstitutionally by federal law to buy health insurance, whether you like it or not. But if you don't, it's 1% of your modified adjusted gross income.
I know when I was like 24 years old, I got out of the job market and I started my own business.
Yeah.
And of course, when I had a job, I had health insurance. Of course, I didn't make any money, but my dad was like so worried at that age that I didn't have health insurance.
Yeah.
His company actually paid for he paid to have his company. I was 24, 25. His company provided health insurance for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's nothing new.
Yeah. And there's another reason these kids will not buy this health insurance. There's three other reasons. One, employers all over the country, the largest rate of growth in jobs in 2013 thus far have been part-time jobs. 76% of all jobs created in the U.S. in 2013 thus far are part-time jobs. Why is that? Because the employers know that if you're a part-time worker, not a full-time worker, I don't have to pay a fine. Right? So they're pushing everybody down to 29.5 hours. So now they don't even have the money to buy a health insurance plan, so they're going to pay the fine. But they know that EMTLA is still in force. EMTLA is a law that was passed under President Reagan. If you're 250 yards from any emergency room, they have to treat you regardless of ability to pay. And then, number three, they have 2 times in 2014 where they can game the health insurance industry. From January 1 to 4/1 of 2014, they can buy any health insurance plan from any health insurance carrier with no pre-existing conditions, guaranteed issue, without any proof of prior coverage. Then, after 4/1 on October 7th, they can do it again from October 7th to December 15th. So if you know the fine for not buying health insurance is 1% of your adjusted gross income, you know you can still go to any emergency room for quote-unquote free if you have no money, and you can buy any policy from any carrier in the country twice a year. Why would you maintain a health insurance policy? You're not going to do it. This is why Barack Obama says NBA players, NFL players, tell kids how cool it is to buy Obamacare health insurance. Go out there and tell them. The NFL said, no thanks, we're not going to propagandize for your law. It's not going to happen. So these kids are going to make a very easy decision. $280 a year, $3,000 a year. I'm going to go with the $280.
Who's there's vacation money.
Yeah.
Who are the congressmen in Illinois that really need to get some pressure put on them, Steve?
Our Chief Majority Whip, Congressman Roscom, who does not believe in defunding Obamacare, thinks he's going to wrangle enough Democrats to bring it down or it'll implode upon itself, right?
He's from Illinois. He should know better than that.
You laid that out. You don't really think that's going to happen the way he's telling you?
Of course not. Of course not. And listen, if it happens, great.
Why? Doesn't he know better?
He knows better. Of course he
Why
knows
is
better.
he saying that?
Because they want
John
single
Boehner
payer.
does not want him to risk a government shutdown. We are not the ones asking for a government shutdown. We will fund every function of government in Senator Ted Cruz's amendment, except for funding for Obamacare. These congressmen do not have the courage to do the right thing. And when they do not act in the best interest of their constituents, especially now on September 30th, this is what's going to happen. Millions will lose their health insurance plans, and the largest entitlement in U.S. history will begin. And once those people get that $12,000 subsidy to lower the expense of health insurance, they will never vote against it. Ever. And you'll never repeal it. Name the entitlement that's been repealed.
Well, and here's the issue, and this is something we got to keep our eye on, and this is why he's doing everything he can to keep this thing going forward. The success of Obamacare is not important right now. They are taking down private health insurance companies. This whole Obamacare thing is designed to tear down private industry and create a single-payer system.
That's the ultimate goal. Steve, who are the congressmen that have to get pressure in Illinois quick?
Congressman Roscom, Congressman Shimkus, Congressman Kinzinger, and Congressman Schock. The only one who's on our side is Congressman Randy Holgren. The rest of them, we need to burn up their phone lines. We got 7 days left.
Schock, Shimkus, Roscom, and Kinzinger. Make those calls. Stay with us. We're going to have more when we come back. Don't go away. We'll be right back after the break.